Hey guys, today I'm here to show you how to set up UDTele. Couple things you should know before we start. UDTele is a direct connect client and it will not work if you're off campus. This does not use the internet. You must be on campus in order to use it. Anyone who lives off campus, you're just going to have to come on campus to use it. For those of you who live on campus, you're in luck. Other things, this will work with macOS 10.4 or later. If you have any versions before 10.4, then I'm not making any promises, but it should work. 10.4 is Tiger, 10.5 is Leopard, 10.6 is Snow Leopard, for those of you who don't know. That's pretty much it. First thing we got to do is download the UDTele software, so open your web browser. And you want to go to udarknet.com/UDTele. Alright, so once you're here, you can see you have three files. You have the DMG file, the exe, and the tar.gz. The exe is for Windows and the tar.gz is for Linux. The DMG is what we want. For anyone who's not a Mac user who's watching this video, we have a Windows video up on our Facebook as well, and we should have a Mac one coming soon. We don't have it up yet, but it's coming. So anyways, Mac users, you want the DMG file, click it, download it, and mount it. If you're not using Safari, you might just have to double click it when it pops up on your desktop or something. Alright, so as you can see, the developers gave us a nice little installation interface here. Make it nice and easy. All you got to do is drag this udtele.app into applications, and you can see it copy over real fast there, and it should appear right there in your applications folder. So basically what you have to do now, you could do one of two things. You could either set this as a startup item, or every time before you start up your Direct Connect client, you're going to have to start up udtele.app. So I'm going to show you how to set it as a startup item, because I think that's a lot easier, because then you don't have to worry about forgetting to set it with to set it up when you run your Direct Connect client. So we're going to get out of applications for now, go to System Prefs. Alright, now we want to go to Accounts, Login Items, and then right here you could see my iTunes helper is already set as a startup program, or a login item as they call it. So what you want to do next is click the little plus. It says Add an item to the login items list. Scroll down to UDTele and add it. Then you want to check hide, because you don't want to know that it's running. You just want it to run. You don't need to see anything. So it's a very light program. Don't worry about slowing down your computer. It's not going to. So I usually hide it. So we'll X out of that. Now the next thing we need to do is get a Direct Connect client. The one that you'll use on a Mac is Shakespeare. So you can either Google it, or if you have it, my web browser has it saved. That's where you can download it from. You can either type in this web address right up here, or just Google it, and it'll just Google Shakespeare, and that's the first thing that'll come up. So you want to download the latest version, let your web browser do its thing, and here we go. As you can see, Shakespeare does not have quite an advanced installation interface. So what you want to do is take the app, drag it over to Applications, install it, and then I am going to put it in my dock just to make life a little bit easier for us. Alright, now before we start our Shakespeare, like I said before, we set UDTele as a startup item, but since we haven't logged out and logged back in yet, you're going to have to manually run it your first time. So all you got to do is go into Applications and just double click it and click Open. the reason you have to do that is since it's a startup item, and like I said before, we haven't logged out yet. We haven't logged out and logged back in, so it hasn't had a chance to run the startup programs. So therefore, UDTele was not running. You need UDTele. Shakespeare is just the interface. It will not work without having UDTele installed. So next, you want to open up Shakespeare. Oh, mine's already connecting. We don't want that, but good effort. I want to show you guys how to do it. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is go up to Shakespeare, go to Preferences. I already have a nickname set. You can have it set to whatever you want it set to. I put MacTutorial. Alright, sharing. The way Direct Connect clients work is everyone shares files from their own computer, and you can browse other users' files and download them and share your own files for them to download off you. So as you can see, I have my download folder right here. This is just where, if I download from someone else, where do you want your stuff to go? So you can just click the drop down if you want, and click other if you want to browse, and figure out where you want everything to go. That's entirely up to you. It doesn't matter. I just put it on my desktop so that it's easy to find. And then let's say I want to share a folder. Let's say I want to share that same folder. Go to my desktop, and it's right here. So we can share that folder. There's nothing in it, even though it said there was a couple things in it. There's actually nothing in it, so there's nothing to hash. If you have a bigger folder, like if I were to add my iTunes music, that'll start hashing and it'll take a while and whatever, but I don't want to go into that now. If whenever you share a folder, you're going to have to wait a while for it to hash. So when it's your first time running this, you're going to have to leave your computer on for a little while just for it to get set up, but it's not that big of a deal. I don't want to do that right now, so it's going to take too long. So once you have that set up, you want to make a bookmark. So click this little plus down here, and I'm going to name it UDTele. Alright, the address is 127.0.0.1:7314. It'll use your default nickname from before. There's no password, and description, you could type whatever you want. I'll type video guide. And connect on launch just basically means whenever you launch Shakespeare, do you want it to connect to that bookmark? So I'll have it connect on launch, why not? And encoding, don't worry about that, just leave it as default. So click OK. It'll pop up here. So obviously right now we're going to have to manually launch it. So all you got to do is double click it. And popped up over here. We are on UDTele. This is it. So if you want to browse someone's stuff, as you can see, this guy Doofproof has 846.3 gigabytes. We have 4.41 terabytes total right now shared amongst everyone. So if you want to browse someone, you could type anything you want into the search to search for a specific file or folder or whatever, and it'll show you anyone who's hosting anything with that kind of name. It'll search pretty much anyone who's connected to UDTele. Otherwise, you can just double click on one person. You'll see it, pop up over here, and then there is their file list. So, if you want to browse through, all you got to do is just click the drop down, whatever. If you want to download something, you can either click an individual file or right-click, download selected files will download the entire folder. And that's pretty much it. If once your stuff hashes, you'll see, right now I have 0 bytes because I'm not sharing anything. Like I said before, that folder didn't have anything in it. But your number will slowly start to increase. If you're still hashing, it's not going to show up right away. Don't worry. Just leave it for a while, and then it'll work. So that's all you got to do. If you're behind a router, you're going to have to forward 2 ports. The way you're going to do that is just go into your Shakespeare preferences. You need one port for your Direct Connect client, which I made 5001, and then you're going to need one for Detailer. The way you make Detailer is you type !UDP and then type whatever port number you want. So like if I wanted 5002, I type 5002, click enter. It'll try to reconnect, you know, until you forward that port on your router. It's not going to work. If you don't know how to forward ports on a router, just go on YouTube. There's like a trillion videos on it. So that's pretty much it. So enjoy. Like I said, Windows, we already have another video up there, and Linux will be coming soon. So I hope to see you guys online. Thanks.